Okay, I'm gonna run a theory by you guys. It's not developed. I actually haven't even thought about it. I'm just about to say it. But I've thought of the concept. I think INTPs may be a wounded type. Now, this is nothing like you've ever heard before because this is new. And I'm gonna start making vlogs that are just out there, making bold assertions or questions. But anyway, INTPs, I think they may be a wounded type. Now I'm going to talk about myself for a little bit. You know, as a young person growing up and in high school, I was surrounded by people and friends, and I enjoyed myself, a lot. And I had a group, and we would hang out all the time, go to parties and things like that. Not something that you would typically hear about from an INTP, but that's what I used to do, and I used to enjoy it. But when I got to college, it seemed like all the people that I knew as my friends stopped calling me, and I would call them and they wouldn't call me, and sometimes they wouldn't answer their phones. And these are people that I spent past 3-4 years with, and I trusted them, as close friends. And it really got to me. It really hurt me. It really made me feel worthless, and I got really bitter, and I started to get really bitter and jaded and cynical, and I began analyzing. I started analyzing things mainly around my personality and religion and things like that, my identity basically, and just mulling over it and mulling over it and mulling over it. And I was obsessed. I couldn't stop. And I wanted to know who I was. I wanted to define who I was. And less so find who I was, more create who I was. But I ended up finding who I was, and not liking it at first, and hey, maybe even now. But I'm going to try not to ramble on too much and make my points relevant. What I was saying is, INTPs, I think a theory that might be true, might not be true, may be a wounded type. I think because INTPs they think differently than most people, they're interested in different things than most people, and they have inferior FE, which is the inability to really, connect with people or experience their emotions. I think there's a reason for that inferior FE. I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's a result of being misunderstood because of different interests and lack of relatability. I don't think it's just there because of the way we are. This is, like I said, this is only a theory. You can correct me. I'm asking you guys, what do you think? the nature of friendship, from what I observe, not gospel either, is that it's a give and take of amusement, at least to start. It becomes something deeper after that initial thing. But for a long time, it's a give and take of amusement. So one person will do something that will inspire a significant emotional reaction in another person. And then the other person will do the same for the first person. And then they will continue doing this for one another, getting higher and higher off of the friendship, emotionally. And then they will both realize, they'll say to each other, or not to each other, they'll say to themselves, this person makes me feel good. I want to be around this person more. Now, the INTPs, they have a very hard time finding people that can do that for them, and they also have a really hard time doing that for other people. So they end up being observers. They end up watching everyone else go through this process when they themselves are left out of it. So they're left out of this process. They notice everyone enjoying somebody else. Everybody has their own buddy that they're enjoying. And they're left out. Why? Because there's so few that can inspire that kind of emotion in us, and and we don't have the ability to inspire that emotion in others. So then we get wounded, we get jaded, we get cynical. We start saying, these people who are laughing are stupid. These people who are enjoying each other are stupid. You say, yeah, I'm more intelligent than them. They're not listening to my intelligent thoughts and can't understand them and don't care to hear them. They must be fools. And that's kind of a defense mechanism. That's the inferiority plus superiority complex that INTPs go through. And eventually, they just end up accepting it. And then that's what you call inferior FE. Because they can't find those people to cackle with as the others do. But we want to. We all want to really bad, because that's an evolutionary desire for all humans. And we can't find it. So that's why I think INTPs I would consider a wounded type, and I see the pain in a lot of INTPs. INTP vloggers, I see the stiffness, the deader face kind of thing, the lack of trust. I can see it. I can see it as I watch all the videos. And I'm going to say yet again, I'm not an authority figure. I don't know. I could be a fool for making these claims, but I'm asking you, what do you think about this? Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that and see what you think. And all input is helpful, and I want to start making more theories that are more complex than the initial relating of qualities of INTPs, which is what I've been doing. But yeah, later.